What is up guys, this is your random movie guy here with another random movie video. And today we're looking at the new Transformers 5 The Last Night trailer. As you guys might already know from my Dragon Ball Z movie reboots video, I'm not a particularly massive fan of the Transformers franchise. When it comes to writing and character building, other than the first movie, I just think they lack any sort of imagination or creativity. But I do give them credit for looking visually stunning and being made of pure unadulterated eye candy. Having said that, Michael Bay has said that this is going to be his last outing with the Transformers movie franchise. He has said it before, but there is reason to believe that he might actually stick to his guns this time. Mainly, we've actually got writers on this movie, but I'll get into all of that later on in the video. But for now, let's just quickly have a look at the trailer and just tell you some of the bits that I liked and maybe didn't like so much. Now, a good trailer does not mean it's going to be a good movie, and the Transformers movie franchise has nailed down the art of making good trailers down to a fine art, and this trailer is no exception. First voice you hear is that of Anthony Hopkins, which I think is a really good idea as it helps sway the minds of any sort of doubters like myself. And with this movie we can clearly see they're trying to embed the whole Transformers mythos into the history of humanity. So we get scenes of knights on horseback, we see some flashes of the Second World War, and then we get a shot of Anthony Hopkins in a well-lit library setting fondling some artifacts. Leads me to believe he's some sort of trusted historian. So there's clear symbolism with the beginning of the trailer. They show us the Crusades, and then Second World War, and now this is the aftermath of the next big war, i.e. the Transformers War. And the modern day scenes do appear as though that the characters are in a war zone. Now we see Mark Wahlberg walking on his own, interestingly enough, so he's not with his daughter. Maybe his daughter ran off with her boyfriend, or she's dead. There's scenes with him and Lieutenant Colonel Lennox from the first few movies, and we also see images of this young girl who seems really passionate, she wants to fight. There's a running theme throughout this whole trailer of despair and hopelessness. We see Optimus Prime all frozen up, floating around in space, lifeless. And yeah, I'm just going to cut to the chase. The best part of the trailer was the end bit when Optimus Prime chokeslams Bumblebee and says, "I'm sorry." Now, I think the whole fight between Optimus Prime and Bumblebee is a little bit clickbaity. I don't think it's going to end up with Optimus Prime being any sort of bad guy. Maybe he might be mind controlled at one point. I think more than anything there's going to be a conflict in interest. Optimus Prime will have his mission objective for the greater good, whereas Bumblebee is going to try and reduce the death toll on humanity as much as possible. Either way, I don't think the situation is going to be as bad in the movie as it appears in the trailer. It's War Machine in Civil War all over again. Mark Wahlberg does look a little bit more grizzled. His hair's grown, his beard's a bit rough, and like I mentioned before, he is on his own. But you can see that he's got a bit of a bond with this other girl who seems to be angry and passionate. I'm just going to throw this theory out there. I've got a feeling that we're going to get shades of The Last of Us, with Mark Wahlberg's character and the little girl having some sort of bond like the two characters from the game. And you can see a similarity with the Logan trailer as well. There's a lot of hype around The Last of Us, especially with the release of the trailer for the sequel. It's universally accepted that it is an amazing game with an amazing storyline, and to be honest with you, I doubt the actual movie is going to come out, but studios are trying to give the next best thing. Now, fair warning, this next bit might be a little bit spoilery. Reason being is I'm going to be talking a little bit about the future of the Transformers movie franchise. Ready? Alright, here we go. So, there's actually already a few movies set up after this, even though this is Michael Bay's last outing with Transformers. The next movie in 2018 being the standalone Bumblebee movie. So we know in some form or another Bumblebee will survive this movie, unless they decide to do an origin story, which I doubt. Even though this is Michael Bay's last outing with the Transformers movie franchise, it's actually the first in a new series of films. As mentioned earlier in the video, there are a new set of writers, something that they didn't really have in the previous movies. And some of these new writers have done some decent work, with some being screenwriters from the first Iron Man movies and others working on Black Hawk Down. And Paramount Studios have set a mission objective for these guys to basically write the future movies and keep a continuity going. In other words, Paramount are trying to create their own Marvel Cinematic Universe. No surprises there. Up until now, the whole Transformers franchise has been a two-man band, Michael Bay and his cinematographer. But if you're able to get some talented screenwriters to keep everything consistent, you can basically churn out movies a bit like a TV series. Something like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. You have a different director on each episode, or a few directors working on different episodes. But the central core storyline and the quality of movie is determined by the showrunner, in this case, the screenwriters. And so The Last Night is the first of 4 confirmed movies to involve these screenwriters. So we've got this movie, we've got the standalone Bumblebee movie. In 2019 we're looking at Transformers number 6 with a new director, and then a movie titled Transformers 1, which is said to be a prequel movie set on Cybertron before the events of the first Transformers movie. And rumours have it that it's going to be a fully animated movie, which sounds pretty cool, and there's still talks of a potential crossover with the G.I. Joe franchise, although I think if they're going to do that, they're going to have to weave in the idea with the next few movies. Personally, I think they should just leave the whole G.I. Joe franchise dead and buried, because honestly, if The Rock couldn't make the franchise work, no one can. As optimistic as I am about having new writers and taking things into a new direction, I've been stung too many times by this franchise, and therefore, as it stands at the moment, I won't be spending any money to watch this on the big screen. But chances are I will eventually watch this movie, and when I do, I will give it a fair shot. So what do you guys think about the trailer? Are we done with the Transformers franchise, or do you think there's still a bit of life left in it? Either way, let me know in the comments down below, and if you like the video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. And most importantly, I just want to say thank you to all the people that have subscribed to my channel so far. I appreciate every single one of you. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm still kind of new to the game, but I'm getting better with every video. And I always post a couple of videos every week. Anyway, until the next video, take care.